Hi folks, Chris Anderson with Mount Comfort RV. We are here to show you another 2020 Newmar. This is a Ventana 3407 model. I did a brief video on this back in April at the dealer meeting, and I think I even mentioned in there this was going to be our unit. Well, here it is. It's here, and it is our unit. So it is for sale right now. It's a beautiful day today, so we decided let's get out and get this video done. Now, before we go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe our page if you like our videos. That helps us out. Even if you're not shopping for an RV right now, that'll help us generate more hits, which is what helps us do our job. So that's the cheap and easy way you can help us out. Of course, the not so cheap ways, you can come buy this RV. We're perfectly fine with that as well. In fact, that's my favorite way, but we'll take the like and the subscribe. So without further ado, on a 2020 Newmar 3407, let's start looking around and seeing, take in this floor plan a little bit. It is a 3-slide floor plan. We have a full wall slide on the driver's side, or the off-door side as we call it. And then we have an opposing slide where the sofa is on the passenger side or door side of the coach. And then the bed is on a slide as well. Now, the Ventana got a complete facelift this year. So every 3 to 5 years, coaches go through what we call a life cycle change. And that life cycle change means is they just kind of reevaluate the product from one end to the other, and it's time to make some major changes. So when we go outside, you'll see the outside looks completely different. It has new sidewall design. It has new front and rear caps. A lot has changed on the outside. But also on the inside, we have all new wood. This color is the same as it was last year. This is a Bermuda glazed maple with the matte finish. But certainly the cabinet design, the hardware, the slide fascias, all of that is new for 2020. These little pieces, by the way, I did already hear people complain, how am I going to clean that? These are actually just magnetically held in there. So good idea on Newmar. They made it easy to clean. And then it just jumps right back in place all on its own. So new cabinet design, totally new tile floor. I love this tile. Haven't seen this used in anything else. It has a lot of depth to it. We like that. The countertops, of course, it's all Corian done right there at Newmar. But instead of last year, this was much more of a rounded edge here. This year, that's a hard 90. This coach took a little step, a little more modern, a little more contemporary look to this, rather than being traditional. If you want more traditional, maybe Dutch Star is still a better choice for you. But this coach, just a little more modern look, keeping up with trends a little bit more. All new furniture. The sofa's new. The Ottomans are old. I guess I can't say they're new. The Ottomans we had last year. These are storage Ottomans, though, by the way. And on the inside, we have storage, and you can flip the lid over, have a nice little serving tray type setup. So we like that. This particular dinette, this does pull out, and there are leaves that drop in there. And there's 2 more chairs that are folding chairs. These chairs, again, haven't seen those anywhere. Really cool design on those. All right, so we're going to start at the front up here, and we'll get into some of playing our little game, what's behind door number 1? Well, door number 1 is going to be our control center. This is where all the goodies are for the Newmar, and we'll do a brief synopsis of this. We can run our little over-the-door awning in and out with this guy right here. This is a Gerard awning controller, and that's a little weird because Ventanas don't have Gerard awnings. Well, guess what, people, for 2020, Ventanas have Gerard awnings. So in fact, we optioned in, I think, the Nova package on this one as well. So that's your Gerard awning controller. In motion satellite dish. Our security light and our entry step switches are here. This is our energy management system, and just so you can see, basically what this system does is it can detect what type of power we have coming into the coach. Right now it can tell we're plugged into a 50 amp service, and it will do whatever is necessary to keep the coach under 50 amps so that you're not popping the circuit breaker outside. What it can do, for instance, let's say we have both air conditioners running, every light in the place is on, the battery is charging, and somebody fires up the microwave. Well, that's probably going to put us over 50 amps. It would actually shut down the compressors on one of those 2 air conditioners just to keep us under 50 amps, and then as soon as the microwave goes off, it would kick it back on. And the best part I love about this energy management system is you never really touch it. It kind of does it all on its own. This is an all-electric coach, so we do have an Oasis system on here. Oasis is our hydronic heating. If you're not familiar with hydronic heating, that's another one of those we've done a separate video on, and if you go and look at this coach on our website, we'll put this video down right underneath that, so you can find out all you need to know about hydronic heating. But the short version is you can run this off of electric or off of diesel fuel. It replaces your furnace and your water heater, so it's the heat of your coach and it's your hot water. The best thing people like about this is it's unlimited hot water. There's lots of other little benefits, like it's quieter and you don't have to have a propane tank, that type of thing. But the biggest thing is unlimited hot water. So that's what people like. Don't have to take the 5-minute shower. Our slide out controls are right here. And then over here, this is our Magnum Energy control center for our inverter, our auto generator start, controls your charging of your batteries. So that's all done under this control box. And this was on last year. This is our digital controller for our tank levels. This was all here last year. But what wasn't here last year, I'm going to go back to home, is this also controls your HVAC. So this is now your thermostat as well. So that's new. We have kind of dual zones because we have 2 air conditioners. There's the living room zone. I have it set at 73. It's on cool and it's on automatic. So that's pretty easy. And if I want to do the bedroom, I can do that. And I can even take the bedroom down an extra degree, we'll say. If I like the bedroom a little colder at night, which I do, you can program this to different times of day and that type of thing as well. But very easy, very intuitive. I like this. That's a nice little upgrade you're going to see on a lot of the Newmar product this year. So that's new. All right, let's move over a cabinet. A lot of times you'll find the circuit breakers and the 12-volt fuses on a Newmar product. You'll find those in the bathroom, but when we're on some of the shorter coaches, sometimes they do move it up front here, and that's what's happened here. So nothing really amazing here, just a circuit breaker panel. But like I said, it is a little surprising the place of it, because 9 times out of 10 on a Newmar, you can bet this is going to be in the mid bathroom, but not today. A little bit of storage up above the door there. Okay. Let's get down into the driver's compartment and talk about that for a minute. Into the cockpit. Now this does have the tilt wheel that is controlled by your left foot, so you just press a pedal there, and then I can put the steering wheel anywhere I want. It's not like one of those that just has like 5 positions. You can move this a fraction, and wherever you take your foot off, you're good. It does also have telescoping as well. Now this is the new Freightliner chassis that's being used across the board. So you're going to see this on all of our diesels. This is an all-digital dash. I didn't bring the keys out with me, but we've shown that in other videos, so I think we'll be okay there. But this is an all-digital dash. This no longer has the little push-button control over here for the transmission. That's actually controlled on this little stalk right here. We have reverse, neutral, and drive. We can control our engine brake on here as well. You can put this into manual mode and manually shift it if you want to, but that's done actually by turning this little wheel right here. So that's totally new for this year. Smartwheel has been changed completely. Your left hand controls your functions on the screen here, whether it's comfort drive or cruise control. You can actually, cruise control is on the stalk over. I'm sorry, cruise control is on your right hand. This is all the controls for your menus and everything based right here. So one of the best features about this also with your left hand, you can tell I'm still learning this, with your left hand is you actually have Bluetooth control over here. The Freightliner chassis, they actually put Bluetooth in the chassis itself as opposed to just using the one in the radio. Now they've still got the Bluetooth in the radio. If you want to sync to that, great. But for phone, you're probably better off to sync this to your Freightliner chassis. The advantage there is you have hands-free control of it. Whoever's calling in, their number would pop up on the center screen right here, which is nice. The radios are more of an aftermarket deal, and that's fine if you don't have this, but Freightliner's been nice enough to give us the built-in feature, so we like that. Headlight control is over here, as well as the dome light control, your power heated mirror controls on driver's left, and your basically your battery boost switch, which is going to combine your sets of batteries. If you run one set down, this is kind of jumper cables by pressing a button. Air horn control is about the only thing left over here to the driver's left, along with leveling jacks. I do have 2 nice cup holders, so that's good. This coach has automotive style pedals instead of the truck style pedals that you see on a lot of lesser expensive coaches. So it's a much more natural feel. I was going to say this coach has backup and side cameras, but it actually has more than that. New for 2020, the Ventana can be optioned in with the 360 camera. So that's the one that looks like a drone's flying above you, and you can see all the way around your coach. It really means there's no excuse for hitting anything in the parking lot with this coach, because you can sit here and stare at this screen and see everything that is around you. We do have a built-in wireless charger. My cell phone, since the light is green, my cell phone is charging as we speak, so that's easy. Our controls here at the front are for our front shade and or visor. Our overhead fans, I can start the generator here as well. So those are the type of controls we have here, as well as how much heat I want coming from the Oasis system can be controlled right here. But I also have my in-dash HVAC system. So you kind of have two different ways if it's cold outside that you can get heat up here, either from the engine or from the Oasis system. The choice is yours. I can lock and unlock my entry door from here, although with Newmar's, as soon as you drop this coach in gear, it is going to lock the door and all the compartment doors all by itself. So that's a nice little safety feature. I do have two USBs there and a 12-volt socket as well. So a lot of different ways I can plug in devices. Okay, storage drawer here, another one down below. There's my air brake, my key switch. I think that about covers the cockpit area. This is a power seat, as well as the passenger seat is a power seat as well, and they both do have incliners built into them, so when you spin these seats around, it'll recline like a lazy boy chair. And you know, I don't talk about that a ton when we're doing like a 40 or a 43 foot coach. Not as much reason to talk about that type of thing, but I think on a 34 footer it's a little more likely that you will spin these seats around and use them as part of your living area. The other thing I want to talk about, and the reason we brought this coach in, one of the things we want to talk about here today too, is that this is a good switch coach for maybe somebody considering a New Air. It's about the same size. You know, your New Air comes in 33 or 35 foot sizes. This is a 34, so real similarities there. But where we don't have the similarities are in the price tag. This has an MSRP of $342,000, and obviously we'll discount it down well below that and be very, very competitive. I can't give those prices over the internet as much as you people want me to. I got to play by the rules, so MSRP is $342,739. For pricing beyond that, give me a call. This doesn't have all the electronics of a New Air, so that's going to keep the price down. The trim level is very, very nice in here, but not quite where a New Air is. But again, you know, we're anywhere between $80,000 and $150,000 less than a New Air on the MSRP side, so that's really going to be attractive to some people for the same size coach, for the same overall quality. Your build, that's the nice part about Newmar. Remember, they don't change the way they build it. The floor, the walls, the ceiling, the construction, that all stays the same from their least expensive gas coach, a Baystar Sport, up to a King Air at $1 million. The build quality stays the same, so that is one thing we like about Newmar. So you could switch to this and have the same size coach and have all the same fun that you would have in that New Air for a whole lot less money. Okay, let's get into some more storage options here. On either side, we're just going to do one of these, but these are on either side of the sofa. Yeah, that nice little storage door down there. I'm not sure what you'd keep in there, but I'll bet you find something. And then up above, we have, as always, our wonderful doors with the struts on them that stay up on their own. And this is all one big compartment. So if I have long items, it's not three individual cabinets. That little brown box you see in there, that's the pump for the air mattress. Now, the mattress that comes on this, it's a hide-a-bed with an inner spring mattress like you've seen 1,000 times. But inside that inner spring mattress, there's actually an air bladder inside the mattress ticking. This isn't some Walmart mattress you throw on top of it. It's built in the mattress ticking there, and you put that little pump on there and it airs it up, and it's actually the most comfortable, I think, of all of our sleeping options is the mattress that comes in this. New window treatments for this year. They kind of took a page out of Dutch Star a little bit with the wood around here. Now the Dutch Star is all wood. This still has some fabric accents, but not as much as it's had in years past. We like that quite a bit. I like that quite a bit. In fact, this coach overall took a huge step towards Dutch Star. My prediction is that this year Dutch Star might actually lose a few sales to this. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. In fact, at this point it would surprise me if it didn't, because when you add in the Gerard awnings that we've talked about already, that was normally you had to get to Dutch Star to get, and the 360 camera, which normally you had to get to Dutch Star to get, I'll bet we see some sales. Some people buy Ventanas that might have normally bought Dutch Stars, but we'll see. We stock them both, so I don't care. So in these cabinets, obviously you can see, first thing is our Bose system and our Blu-ray player built in here. There's plenty of room in there to put your satellite receiver or any other audio-video items that you might need. All of these are nice lined cabinets with hidden hinges on the doors, struts on the vertical doors. Okay. Of course, nice big window here, and right in front of that big window we have the televator. We'll bring that up. While that's coming up, you can take a look over here, the outlet. You'll see a few of these throughout the coach. That outlet actually has 2 USBs built into it, as well as 2 110 outlets. And then you also see next to it the multiplex lighting. That came out for 2019 in Ventana, but it's really nice to just walk in the coach and have those panels located throughout, and you can light up a lot of different areas from any one panel. So beautiful Samsung television. Thing's got to be pushing 50 inches. I should have looked at the specs beforehand, but you people know that I don't do that. It's a good sized TV for a 34-foot coach, I promise you that. All right, nice drawer here, soft close, look at that. Okay, good storage down below. That's kind of set up to where you could put a printer or something down there if you wanted to. Okay, I'm going to pull this chair out of the way because there's more storage to be seen below. Let's get these out of here. More storage there. Look at that little storage. I'm not sure what you're putting in there. Not a lot. That's adjustable shelves on both sides. Okay, and then in the middle as well, I'd be careful what you put there. It's kind of hard to get to. But RVers love storage. All right. So that covers, I think, about the front half of the coach. Let's move to the middle. As we get in here, I'm going to open up all these kitchen cabinets and let Tony get a shot of all of it. Lots of drawers, and these are big drawers. Okay. Soft close, you gotta love those. You just know those are gonna rattle less too, which is my pet peeve. All right, we have a double bowl stainless undermount sink with a pull-out sink sprayer. They've gone to a very high gloss, I'll call it, hardware in here as well. On the cabinet hardware and on the faucets, it's very chrome looking. So I'm not sure what exact they call that, but I'd call it chrome. All right, 30-inch residential convection microwave. Undermount cooktop as well. Okay, true induction. It is still removable. You could take that outside if you wanted to. So you're preparing foods that don't stink up the whole coach. And then complete the kitchen with the refrigerator and the pantry. Here's your Whirlpool residential refrigerator with ice maker built into the drawer. Okay. There's water on the door also. Oops, haha, don't do it like that. There's a new lock on here that I just pulled hard enough to supersede. Forgot about that one. This is nice so your canned goods do not come out on you while you're going down the road. If you pull hard enough, you can obviously get past it, but the idea is it doesn't open up on its own. These are adjustable. We've talked about this many times over the years. Okay, and there's a lot of them, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 of those. And then to do this right, you shut the door and then lock it. You really only need that while you're going down the road. All right, next let's take a look at the bathroom. This is obviously a 34-footer. We're not going to be a bath and a half like some of the coaches we do. It's all in one room here, so that's good. And then if we come in, I'm going to let Tony get a shot first of all the cabinetry, and then I'll open it all up so you can kind of see it both ways. The sink is all Corian molded in, new faucet this year. Nice, good placement on the outlet. And then nice wood medicine cabinet. Then shelf space to the right. Of course, we have a fantastic fan in here. Then 3 drawers on this side. There's good room around the toilet as well. And then one thing we don't talk about all the time, we do have the emergency egress door. Much better than an emergency egress window. We have those too, but I think we could all agree I'd rather jump out this door than go head first out a window. I'm probably not sticking the landing either way, but I like my chances better over here. Shower's actually good size for a 34-foot coach. I'm going to step right in. Again, I go about 5'9", 220-ish, give or take. Good little shelf area back here. Got the shower head up here. Got the handheld. Got a nice handle. We have a seat in here also. Plenty of room. You can move around in here, which is all you're really looking for in a 34-footer is adequate. You know, you're not going to have an amazing shower in a 34-footer, but you can certainly have an adequate one, and that's exactly how I would describe that. Let's go back into the bedroom. King-size bed. This coach does have 2 roof air conditioners. We have a 360 horsepower Cummins engine tied to a 6-speed Allison transmission. All good things. Television built in back here. Another Samsung. Another Blu-ray player. And again, this is all pre-wired for that satellite dish. If you want to put a second receiver back here, you can certainly do that. And then I'm just going to do the one. There's 6 drawers just like this one. So work with me, people. A little bit of imagination. Right. On the bed itself, this lifts up. Okay. There's our 2 extra chairs. Good storage under here. This is also a sleep number bed, I might add. And then our closet is in, well, I can't forget this. Sorry, before I get to closet, look at there. Splendid stackable washer and dryer. And then let's open this up. There's our 2 leaves for the table. There's our safe. Lots of storage space in here. This is certainly set up for extended stays. All right, I think that about covers the inside of this Ventana 3407. Let's go talk about the outside.
Well, today I'm so weary. Today I'm so blue. Sad and broken heart.
Okay, we're outside of our 3407 Ventana, and as you can see, things have changed from last year. It's a little breezy. Those awnings might go in here in a second. But those are Nova Gerard awnings, or Gerard Nova awnings, I guess would be the right way to say it. Gerards were not available at all last year. This year they are. They're molded up into the cap. We have our over-the-door awning as well. And I'm going to go ahead and bring those in because it's a little breezier than I thought it was when I ran those out. And those are expensive, and I don't want to have that taken out of Tony's check. So let's bring those in. There we go. They're coming in nice. The thing I like about the Gerards too is you don't have to stand there and hold the button. Once you get them headed in, they'll do the rest on their own. But I want you to see how they mold themselves into the top cap there, as opposed to being an awning that is bolted onto the side of the coach as well. So we'll go ahead and wait for those to close so we can see what that looks like. All right, so see, it's just a much cleaner look, and when we bring the slides in to do our final little segment here, you'll be able to see just how streamlined the bus looks this year. Definitely looks a lot more like a Dutch. Not as many things bolted to the side of it. Most of it's just molded in, and that's a great look. Couple of things here. This is storage. Okay, This was Dutch Star. Yeah, that needs a little cleaned out. This was Dutch Star last year. It was not Ventana, so Ventana got this year. That's huge. Newmar storm door is also something I don't talk about enough. I'm going to demonstrate this just a little bit. One of the nice things about the Newmar storm door is there's no screen here. Well, that's so the driver's not, every time he looks to his right, he's not looking through a screen. And I know you're thinking, well, Chris, what good is a storm door without a screen? I got you covered. If we reach right up in here, looky there. There's our screen. So now it's a screen door. So once camp is set up, you bring the screen door down, perfect. But when you're driving, nobody wants to look through that. So let's put that up, and now our view is not obscured at all. So that's a nice Newmar feature. So storage in the steps, we've talked about that. This is the actual step cover that comes out and comes up level with the floor. So when the passenger's sitting there, your feet aren't dangling down into the step well. We do have the doorbell and the keyless entry, so you punch in your own personal code and you can lock and unlock it from here, as well as lock and unlock your compartment doors. Okay, aluminum wheels. They're beautiful, they don't rust, they dissipate heat better than steel wheels. So that's a perfect win right there. Of course, this is a full air ride suspension coach. We do have the flagpole holder up here. And then when it comes to cameras, this coach has cameras. There's our side mount cameras here. These are our turn signal activated for when you're changing lanes on the interstate. That's a really nice little camera there. But also we have the 360 camera, which we have 4 cameras front, back, and each side located, like you see that one up there, to give us that bird's eye view around our coach. Let's go ahead, before we do the rest of this, let's bring the slides in. All right, we're all opened up now. Before I forget, this is the Chateau Exterior masterpiece finish, and it was also the Chateau Interior on the inside that you saw. So just for those of you keeping score at home, you'll be able to take notes on if you like this color scheme. If you really like it, call me, and this would look great in your driveway. Let's take a look at some of the storage features underneath. This front compartment was actually, they optioned this in with a prep for the front freezer. So if you wanted to put the little freezer in here, even if you wanted to order the tray, the freezer, everything from Newmar, or if you just wanted a little college dormitory refrigerator in there, it's prepped for any of it. So that's great. As you pass through here, that's a very large pass-through storage compartment. Our TV is mounted lower out here. Instead of being up in the sidewall, it's actually down a little lower. You can make an argument for this either way. If you're standing around tailgating, well, up high is probably a better setup for you. If you're sitting around under your nice Gerard awnings in those bag chairs, down low with a little shielding from the reflection from the sun is probably a little better setup. Either way, you're good to go. This is a bigger TV, I'll tell you that, and this is on a swing arm, so you can get it from all angles. As we move back a little bit, another nice storage compartment right here. All of these are lighted compartments, so whenever any compartment door is open, the lights will come on for the entire basement. This is a Freightliner chassis, as we talked about. Here's our on and off switch for our chassis batteries, which are located right here. This is the 360 horsepower engine that I mentioned. Now on a rear radiator coach, you can't see a ton in here, but you can get to the essentials. You can check your oil and your transmission fluid, and you can look at your air filter indicator, and they can get to the little plug where they can diagnose if there's ever any issues. Your fluids can all be checked from right back here. You do have a tow hitch down here as well. And then I want to pan back a little bit, and we'll do this on the front and the back. I'm having Tony pan back towards the lake. The rear cap is completely new. The front cap is completely new. This is not what Ventana looked like last year. All right, now that we're done admiring, I like how high they mounted those taillights. You could actually see those if the taillights on your Toad ever quit working. You could actually see these up and over most Toads. So kind of smart thinking there. Now on most diesel pushers, you don't get this compartment or this compartment right here because your engine's right behind here. So most manufacturers, you open these doors up, you can kind of see the side of the engine, but that doesn't do you a lot of good. Even though they couldn't make this compartment huge, it's only maybe a foot deep. man, there's good storage there. You know, that's one of those compartments you'll find something to put in there. And then we move forward one, and that made that space big enough to actually put the 50 amp shore power reel in here. Otherwise, if they didn't make this storage, that reel would have been up here eating up some storage somewhere else. So smart move by Newmar there. And then we have our transfer switch / built-in surge protector right here. And then this coach also had the option for it's prepped for a ground satellite. Now, why would we want a ground satellite when we have an in-motion satellite? Well, sometimes you're parked in a campground, you're under a tree, and that tree is really messing with your reception for your satellite. So a lot of people will carry a smaller handheld satellite, if you will, that they can put out on the ground in a clearing somewhere. This coach is prepped for that. So it doesn't come with that satellite, but if you ever wanted to add it, the wiring is all there for it. All right, moving on. Next compartment forward, this is our DEF tank, diesel exhaust fluid. That's part of the engine's after treatment and emissions. You put about a gallon of that in for every 50 gallons of fuel. The next compartment over, this actually is a dedicated little spot for the sewer hose. Sewer hose does not need to be mingling with anything else. I think we can all agree with that. It gets its own little spot, and we'll let it have it. Of course, these are the Newmar flush mount slides. They don't use that piece of plastic trim that hides their sloppiness. You know, this slide fits back into the wall. That's less chance for water intrusion. That's less chance for air, any of that. And we do have also the window awning package on here. So 3 of the windows I know of have window awnings. So 1, 2, and then 1 on the other side. Down here, this is our wet bay. This is a heated compartment, so anytime your hydronic system is on, this area will be getting a little bit of heat. That's nice. You won't have to worry about things freezing up. You have the power hose reel. You have the inline water filtration system, a black tank rinse out here, hot and cold water. So you can wash up. Winterization is a snap because the siphon hose is right there. We do have hot and cold water out here to wash up with also, and it does have the siphon hose, so it makes winterization a breeze. Moving on to the next compartment, this is that hydronic heating system, or the Oasis system. This heats your coach. This is your primary heating system, and it is also your hot water. Your little boiler, if you will. So this will give you your unlimited hot water. Again, we did the second video on that. We'll be glad to go over that with you. You can see in this storage compartment, they've actually included several of the original tiles with this. If there was ever, you dropped a skillet and cracked a tile 5 years from now, you have an original tile that's going to be a perfect match. So no worries there. And then we have our 8 house batteries. These are what supply all the power for all of our lighting inside and our inverter and all that. So that's what we've got here, and that is on nice pull-out trays, so it makes maintaining those batteries a snap. The other half of our dual fuel fill, so again, you can fill from either side on this coach. Then up front here, this is our Freightliner chassis area. Those are chassis electronics you're going to see in here, as well as this little ripcord to pull right here, which should open up my generator. Fraggle Rock. There we go. All right, we got it. Might have to cut that out. All right. This is the Awning 8 kW generator. Wanted to make sure I had to peek. Thought that's what it had, but let's make sure on these 2020s. Sometimes they surprise you with stuff. But it's an 8 kW diesel generator. There's a light up here, which is very, very nice. There's also the hot water to generator option right there between our 2 air horns. That's so you can clean bugs off with hot water as opposed to cold water. You can actually get to this generator pretty well, and if you needed a little more access, this panel is a separate panel. You remove, I don't know, 10 or 12 bolts, and you can access it a little better. It does not pull out, but it does give you good access. Okay. I always tell people you want to shut these gently. If you slam this, that little prop rod on the inside jumps off its keeper, and it makes it a real pain to open the next time. So that's all you need to do on here. This is an automotively bonded windshield as opposed to a floating windshield. Floating windshields use what we call a little H gasket, and they are notorious for popping out or popping a corner out. This is they're steel infused into the cap, and then they actually mold it just like an automotive windshield. It basically eliminated all windshield problems. So that's a little bit about the outside here. Let's do one quick shot on the inside. I know you want to see what it looks like on the inside with the slides in. Let's do that now. All right, slides are in. We're in travel mode right now, so this is what we have. Now, you can take these two Ottomans and stack them in the rear closet or put them on the bed. I just spread the chairs out a little bit, and they kind of left me about the same amount of space either way, so, I don't have to turn sideways. You can come right up through here. And like I said, if you wanted to get rid of those and put them in the back, you could. This is actually pretty decent right here. Sometimes that's a little bit of a choke point. Into the bathroom with ease. That's no sweat. To the refrigerator. And then lastly, back to the bed and lay on the bed. Now, one thing we need to make sure everybody understands with this coach is it's a brand new 2020. We really kind of need to sell this one. We did this video today because Tony's having some problems. He got a new puppy, and apparently the puppy likes shoes. So folks, Tony needs new shoes, and I think last I heard he was up to 3 pairs that the dog has successfully killed. So until Tony can afford some dog behavioral classes and some new shoes, we're gonna need your help. You gotta buy this coach. So please stop in, give us a call. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it more than you'll ever know. My name's Chris Anderson. I'm with Mount Comfort RV. We'll see you next time.
All because of you. Life was so sweet, dear. Life